losses on the battlefields of Europe in just a few months' time. It earned them the moniker the Purple Heart Battalion.
They liberated the entire world.
It's the story of the 100th Infantry Battalion.
In 4 months, they changed the perception of the media from disloyal, not to be trusted, to becoming named the Purple Heart Battalion.
A battalion ravaged in combat to be combined with the 442nd in 1944.
They become one unit, in part because the 100th gets so beaten up. They lose like 2/3 of their guys in the first 5 months of battle. The 100th would have been the first battalion, and then there's a second and third. But in this case, the 100th were so decorated that they were allowed to keep their names.
The Purple Heart Battalion and the 442nd united under the motto, "Go for Broke," to become one of the most decorated units in Army history.
I have not heard 1 ounce of any commander in U.S. military that thought anything other than these are the best soldiers ever.
6 months of bloody fighting, mass casualties, sheer determination.
The 100th World War II did it. And the end of the war on May 8, 1945, a month later after they broke through that Gothic line.
Marble, imported from Italy, serves as a permanent receipt of the price paid for freedom. All those men, Americans, heroes, not to be forgotten.
They teach little kids for 80 years now, Hawaii Pono'i. And these are French kids that don't speak a stitch of English, not to speak of Hawaiian language. But that's how grateful they are.
And there is more, so much more, generations later.
These bonds are still remembered after over 80 years. One of the artists in San Lorenzo Monte and Tendola, the village where we recently, or the villagers named a piazza after Daniel K. Inouye in the city where he lost his arm.
Steve Sue is making a documentary, The 100th Seeds of Aloha. He took his film crew and Kathy recently to Europe, retracing the heroic, liberating path paved by the 100th in the waning months of the war in 1945.
It's wonderful to see how people actually heal and come back together, and that's why I'm making the picture.
To remember those lost and the beautiful legacy they left for us. We're gonna have a